Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vance. In today's tutorial I'll be teaching you how I made this beautiful drawstring shirt. So this was me when I wore the shirt. You can see it's so perfect, it's so beautiful. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, please do well to subscribe to my channel, like, share my video, and leave a comment in the comment section if you have any question that you want to ask, and I'll be there to respond to all your questions. Okay guys, let's get right into the tutorial. So in this tutorial I'll be making use of these 2 yards of crepe fabric. You can use crepe fabric, you can use vintage, let's say vintage fabric. So what I would do is, first of all, I'm going to fold it into 2. I'm going to first draft the back and the front together. That means I'm drafting the back first, but I'll also draft the front too. So I'll first cut out the back before I'm able to cut out the front. So I've gone ahead to roll out my starting line. So this was me taking the full length of my shirt. I actually went ahead to use 32.5 inches for the full length. I went on to mark my half length, which is 16, and then I'm going ahead to cut out the excess fabric so that I'll just be able to focus on the fabric that I'll be using for the tutorial. So I've gone ahead to cut it out. Then so the next thing I'm going to do is to take my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 14 divided by 2, that is 7. I added extra 1 inch, making it 8 because it's a shirt. So I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I got my armhole, which is my bust, divided by 6 plus 1.5. I marked it there as you're seeing me do. I'll go ahead and use my ruler to extend my lines. I'm so sorry at this point that my chalk is not showing clearly, but I assure you that while watching you'll be able to understand the things that I'm doing. So I'll go ahead and replace my shoulder measurement here. So I marked it so that I can be able to connect my lines together just like this. That's my armhole lines together. So when I'm done connecting my armhole line together, I'll go ahead and divide my armhole by 2. So this was me dividing my armhole by 2, just like this. I'll mark it after dividing it to get my mid armhole. Then after that, I came in by ½ inch to eliminate bodies around my armhole area. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and take my bust measurement divided by 4. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect my armhole line just as you're seeing me do. So I'm connecting the 3 points together just like this. If you're very conversant with my tutorial, you will know that we always do this whenever we are drafting a blouse, a shirt, or whatever. So when I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and take my neck width. For my neck width, I'll be making use of 2.75. Yes, for my neck width, because I do not want my collar to be sagging or to be too wide. So for my neck depth for the front, I used the same 2.7. So I went ahead to connect it to my neck width just the way you see me doing like this. So when I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and connect from my neck width to my shoulder slope line just as shown. So when I'm done with these guys, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my bust. I've already taken my bust plus 2 inches. I'll go ahead and take my waist measurement. My waist measurement divided by 4. I used 2 inches as the allowance. And then for the full length, I actually used my hip measurement divided by 4. And then I added my 2 inches allowance, just the way you are seeing me do. So when I'm done with this, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to connect the points together, my bust to my waist, from my waist to the full length of our shirt. just as you're seeing me do. So guys, when I'm done with this, the next thing I'm going to do is from the full length of our shirt of this shirt, I will go up by 1 inch, because I do not want this shirt to be 4 corner. I want to give it a bit of curve, so I went up by 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and cut. So before I cut, I will take my back neck depth, which is 1 inch, and then I'm going to connect it just the way you see me doing, like this. Remember, I said that we are cutting both the front and the back together. So this was me when I was cutting the unwanted part of this shirt. So this was when I was cutting the back first. Remember, I will cut the back first before I will now go and cut the front. I don't know if you understand. So when I'm done with this, I'll just go ahead and cut my back neck. Remember, I said we are cutting the back first. So when I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and I'll fold my fabric again for the front. So this was when I folded my fabric, so I can be able to place my back fabric to it, just the way you see me doing. So I was arranging it so it's going to be perfect for me to be able to place my back fabric on it. So when I'm done with this, see, I placed my back fabric on the folded fabric that was remaining. So you can see I gave an allowance for my button. You could see that the back block that I drafted, I didn't put it to the extreme. I gave allowance. So for the allowance of my button, I'll be making use of 2 inches. So I'm going to mark out my 2 inches straight to the full length of our shirt. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll go ahead and cut the unwanted part. So at the midpoint, I notched there, so that it will indicate that that is the part that I'm going to remove my armhole bodice. Remember, I came in by 1/2 inch. So for the bottom part, I extended my front neck depth, then I connected it back to the neck width. So I'll go ahead and cut out that part. I'll raise up my back block and then cut out my neck depth, my neck width rather. So I'll go ahead and open up my button part, where my button is going to sit. Remember that this is a shirt. Guys, when I'm done with this part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the back block from the front block, and then I'm going to remove the excesses from my armhole, just the way you see me doing, like this. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll go ahead and take my sleeve measurement. So I folded my fabric into 4 to take my sleeve to draft out my sleeve rather. So this was me folding my fabric into 2, then I folded again into 2, making it 4. So I went ahead to trim out the unwanted part from the fabric. So when I'm done and I'm satisfied, what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and take the length of my sleeve. But before I do that, I'll rule out my starting line. It's from that starting line that I'll not take the length of my sleeve. First of all, I'll be coming down by 4 inch, 9 inches, 14 inches, 18 inches, and then 23 inches for the length of my sleeve. From that 4 inches, I will take my round sleeve measurement, which is 12. Then I'll go ahead from the 8 inches, I will take my other round sleeve, which is 10. Then from the 14 inches, I'll take my round sleeve, which is 9. Then from the 18 inches, I will take my round sleeve measurement, which was I think still 9. Then for the full length, my round sleeve was 8, and all these I have added my allowances. I'll go ahead and connect my lines together. So this was it. It's actually a simple sleeve. So I went ahead to connect the points just like this, and then I went ahead to take the roundness of my armhole. I don't know how to explain that. So I went ahead, when I was done with that, I went ahead to actually cut out just the way you see me doing. So basically our sleeve is ready. I'll notch and then I'll fold it and keep it aside. So for the front block, I'll go ahead and separate my front bodice together, so that I'll be able to hem the front where the button is going to sit. So this was what I was going to do. I'll hem it and then just like this and sew it down. I'll do the same thing for this other part. I'll first fold it with 1/2 inch and then fold again, so my buttons can sit perfectly. So when I was done sewing, this was how it looks. I have done the same thing for the other part. I sewed it, I ironed it, and it's all looking perfect already. So when I'm done with this, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my pins. So I'll use my pins. I'll place my front block on top of each other. That means one of my front piece is directly on top of the other piece. That is how, that's how they wear shirts. So I went ahead to pin the bottom parts together so that I can properly take my measurements. I can properly sew my shoulder to shoulder measurements together, do the necessary things that I need. It's very important that at this point you pin so that you can be able to take proper shaping. So this was my back block. I have placed it after I'm done pinning the front part. Or what I will do next is to go and sew it shoulder to shoulder. So I'm going to use 1/2 inch to sew it shoulder to shoulder, and I've gone ahead to hem my sleeve, the down part of my sleeve, and I've also gone ahead to iron. So when I'm done sewing it shoulder to shoulder, this is how it looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the roundness of my neck so that I can be able to cut out my collar. So this was when I was taking my neck, the roundness of my neck measurement. So what I got after measuring was 15 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and draft out my collar. So this is the pattern that I'll be using to draft out my collar. As you can see, 15 inches divided by 2 actually gave me 7.5. So I'll be adding an allowance to that 15 inch, 7.5. So I'll be making it 8. Yeah, so you can see I'm marking out 8. I just marked it out. So I'm going to use my ruler and I'll extend it. So this is going to be my center collar line. I don't know if you get. You know that your back has center, like you have a center back. So basically that side I ruled out is where my center collar is going to start. So from the bottom part of the paper, I'm going to come up by 1 inch, just the way you see me do. I am marking out my 1 inch. After I'm done marking, I'm going to use my ruler to draw out my points so that it's going to be more visible. So after I'm done drawing out my points, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in by 1 inch from the side front. Just like this, I'll go in by 1 inch. From that 1 inch, I will come up by 2.5 inches, just the way you see me doing. So this is going to be the height of my collar. I actually use 2.5 inches. You can use 2 inches if you want, but 2.5 inches is actually okay for me. So when I'm done drawing out marking out the 2.5 inches, I went ahead to connect the points together. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and straighten up that 1 inch I came in by. Remember, I came in by 1 inch. After that, I'm also going to extend my lines to the tip of the paper, just the way you see me doing, and then I'll connect that point to the 1 inch I came in by. You know, in a collar there's a part that actually went in, so this is how you can be able to achieve that. So after I'm done with this, the next thing I'm going to do is to give the down part of my collar a curve. So from that point I came in by 1/2 inch to get my curve. You know, other parts in a collar is not actually straight, it has this curvy effect. So this was me drafting out the curvy effect. So I didn't really like how curvy it was there, so I had to use my free hand to perfectly curve it out the way I want. So when I'm done with this part, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in from my center front. I will go in by 1/2 inch from my center front. Just watch what I'm doing. So I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. From there I'm going to connect it with a straight line. So I'll use my tape, come in by 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to use my ruler to connect it straight down. So when I'm done with these guys, I'll still go up from my center back, just the way you see me doing. I'll go up by 1/2 inch, yes, then I'll connect it again. Just watch carefully. It's actually easy to draft a collar, and if you can be able to pay attention to how I drafted this collar, you actually know that your collar can be perfect. So when I'm done, I will go ahead and cut out with my scissors, guys. So I'll go ahead and cut out that part just the way you see me doing. And I'll cut out this other part. So for some people, they can actually leave their collar to be one piece. There are some collars that are one piece, but me, I actually don't want that one piece collar. I wanted to divide, to cut out everything. I wanted it 2-piece collar. There's 1-piece collar and there's 2-piece collar. 1-piece collar is when you do not have to divide the middle. So guys, after I'm done cutting, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric. So I'll go ahead and place, you can see the folded part is where the middle is going to be. That's the center back of my collar. So I'm going ahead to pin it down so that it can stay put on the fabric. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to add 1/2 inch around my collar piece. So you can see I'm going to give 1/2 inch around my collar piece. So this collar, I'm going to be cutting 2 of it, not 1, 2 of it. One will be for my interface, that I'm going to add a black interface, a hard interface, while the other piece will not carry any interface. So after I was done cutting, I placed the one that I cut on my fabric, and then I'm going to cut exactly what I cut before on it. So I'm cutting 2 pieces of this collar. So I'll go ahead and also do the same thing for the other part. So this is it when I was done cutting. So I folded my fabric again. I'm going to place the down part, that's the down part of my collar. This is it. So I've placed it like this. Remember that I folded my fabric into 2. The part that is closed is the middle, that's the center back of the collar. I'll also add 1/2 inch round it, just the way I did for the front. So I went ahead to pin it down. So when I'm done pinning it, I'll go ahead and cut. I'm going to cut 2 pieces too for this other collar. So after I'm done with this, guys, I'll go ahead and cut another piece. Remember I said I was cutting 2 pieces of this collar. So this was when I was done, guys. So this is the upper part and the down part. So this is it, guys. I've gone ahead to add my interface to one side, and I didn't add for the other part. So this is going to be my lining. The other side is going to, this part that does not have interface is going to be my main fabric. I don't know if you understand. So you can see it. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and sew it. First I'll pin it down, although I will not be pinning it down like this to sew it. No, there's a way they sew collar, so forget about me pinning it down. Mostly for this down part, you don't need to pin it down. So it's only the upper part I'm going to go ahead and sew. So I'll sew it and then I'll show you how it looks like. So this is the fabric that I'll be using for my drawstrings. So I used 2 inches for my width, and the length I didn't measure anyways. I just used my eyes to suggest how long I wanted it to be, but you can actually measure your own. You can use about 15 to 20 inches. It all depends on you, but I think 15 inches is the best for a shirt, except you want to make a gown, so the rope will not be too long. So I cut about like 4 pieces of these ropes for the side of my shirt. So after I was done cutting, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and fold it into 2. So this is the 4 piece. So I'll go ahead and fold it like this, fold it the other way, fold it again, and then I'll sew it down. This is how I'm going to sew all of the 4 pieces that I cut out. So this was the collar when I was done sewing it, as you can see. So this is the shirt. I went ahead to notch the middle of my shirt, and then I went ahead to fold my collar into 2, and then I marked it with a chalk. Then I will place the middle of my shirt to the middle of the collar. I don't know if you get. So I'll go ahead and pin it down, and then I'll sew it and show you how it looks. So this was when I was done sewing, guys. You can see it's all looking neat and perfect. I've also gone ahead to add my sleeves to my shirt. So you can see our shirt is almost ready. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my measurement. So I'm going to fold my fabric like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and shape it down. I'll be shaping it with 1 inch. I'll be using 1 inch to take my shape straight down to the full length. I'll do the same thing for the other part. So you can see this was when I was done sewing it down. Our shirt is so good already. Yes, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to where my drawstrings is going to stop. So I used 10 inches for the length of my drawstrings, but at a point while I was sewing, I realized that 10 inches was a bit small, so I increased it to 12 inches. So this is how I'm going to sew it. I'll open up my seam allowance like this, and I will go from that 12 inches I marked, and then I will fold it straight down and sew it. I'll do the same thing for the other part, and when I'm done sewing, guys, I'll show you how it looks like. It's actually very easy to do. So I'll go to my sewing machine, sew it down, and then I'll tack it there at the end of the 12 inches. So this was when I was done sewing it, guys. I've gone ahead to also sew my ropes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my safety pin and then pin it through my rope, and then I'll pass it through the space that I made using my seam allowance. I don't know if you understand. So just watch what I'm doing. I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the two sides of my shirt, and when I'm done, guys, I'm going to show you how it looks. So this was it. I'll go ahead and stitch it down like this. So I'll remove my safety pin. So when I'm done stitching it, guys, you can see, oh god, it's so perfect, it's so good. Yes, guys, so you can draw it, you can style it any way you want, and it's your choice. So guys, we are done with this tutorial. I'll go ahead and add my buttons, and then that's all for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching my video to the end. Thank you for subscribing. Do well, guys, to subscribe to my channel, like my videos so that I can reach as many as possible, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.